Well, hello, 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 y'all. What's good? We are back. We are back. Are y'all ready for y'all Darrell Brooks fix? Who's up in here? Hey, Miss Santana girl, how you doing? What you been up to? How's your son? Hey, Maddie, welcome back to part two. Hey, Oracle. Thank y'all for coming back. Oh gosh, what is today? Wednesday? I'm chewing gum. Yes, I am. Okay. Hey, Glenn. Good to see you. Yeah. I am trying to play catch up right now because I don't even remember the last time. Well, I went live last night, but I really wasn't feeling it too much because I've been working like crazy. Um, I work part-time in retail because I believe in having a steady check. And I also own two businesses, right? Um, So I'm real busy, but when I'm available, I come to do what I need to do. And tonight, the agenda is to get our Darrell Brooks fix, right? Um, Let me see. What Miss Anna talking about? Yes, I'm glad to have you. Thank you for coming back, Maya. Are you at work yet? Did you work today? Yes, I'm tired too. Let me tell y'all, I work at Kohl's part time, and Kohl's is a real cool job. It's real laid back or whatever. However, everybody just goes ape shit for the holidays. And it's like, y'all, I mean, I don't know. I'm not big on holidays, really. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, me and my husband are not really raising our kids to expect anything, although we do get them things. But, whatever you get is whatever you get. Like, I'm not the type of mom to be up in Walmart or whatever, like losing my mind trying to find this and find that. I'm not getting ready to go into debt buying this and buying that because you got to live after Christmas, okay? But you got all of these people that are coming in there at the last minute. The lines is wrapped around all around the store like crazy. I mean, it is so exhausting. The last weekend I worked 4 p.m. to midnight, and I'm just like, "Why are we open till midnight? Who is coming in here?" And, of course, people will come in there just because they know the store is open, and it's just, ugh. But I'm not gonna complain too much because I'm blessed to have a job, and Imma keep my job because, like I said, that's a guaranteed check every week, okay? So I ain't gonna turn that down, and God, thank you for my job. Let me stop complaining. But I am tired, Lord. I'm tired. So I know once January come, it'll be, a little busy again because everybody gotta bring stuff back. They auntie, baby mama, son didn't like the sweater that they got them, so they gotta bring it back. They can't find their receipt, or when they mark stuff down, they want to come back and exchange it for the new sale price, like all of that madness. And then, of course, we know February and March is gonna die down. But I plan on getting my nail tech license next year. So that's another what stream of income, y'all. Okay, your girl be out here doing it. Okay. Where I'm at in these comments. Oh, no problem, girl. My family good. My kids up there playing. My two boys, my daughter's watching YouTube. They doing them. So y'all might hear them in the background, but it's cool. 11. Oh, so do you do that 11 to 7? Oh, Lane Bryant. Lane Bryant is cool too. Let me see. Right? And do we really even get to enjoy those like we want to? I can't tell you the last time I really enjoyed like my birthday to myself where I didn't have some other type of obligation. I can't tell you. But I got to change that because I always take care of everybody else and put myself last. And I'm slowly getting out of that. So, I'm keeping my nails done. I'm keeping my hair done. I'm putting my makeup on every day. I told y'all next year I'm going to really work on losing some more weight, okay? And, just doing me and living my life. What? I didn't know that. I would have came up in there. I'm sure the sale probably be crazy though after the holidays. What you think? I need to get up in there. I had no idea. Yes. Thank you, sis. Right. I remember those days. Kudos to you. I'm glad you're doing a dang thing. I can't do it, but hey, I give kudos to anybody that has the strength to do that. Probably if I didn't have kids, I probably could do that shift again, but nope. All right. Well, we're gonna get started because I think this let me see what to say. I'm 41 now. Oh, I'm gonna be 42 next year. But I gotta do something, even if I just go get something to eat or something like something just to myself. Like I don't have to worry about anything. I have to worry about the kids. I don't want my husband taking me anywhere. I see you every day. I appreciate him. He's probably watching. I appreciate you, honey. But I just want I want a day to myself. Just Lauren's day where I don't have to think about nothing. I don't have to do anything, you know? Can I get one of them where I could just sleep in till my eyes just are hurting because they've been closed for so long, and you just wake up with that epic stretch, and then I just go and pick out on some food and just do me and not have to care about anything for like 24 to 48 hours? That's what I'm trying to do. Hey, Monica, how are you? My friend, my German friend that lives in California. How are you? Yes, we just chit chat a little bit, you know how we do for a little bit before the video starts. I think, let's see, how long is this one? This video is an hour and 26 minutes, and y'all know I'm gonna run my mouth, so we probably gonna be here for a while. And I'm not apologetic about it because that's what we do on these lives. Okay. It is my responsibility to engage with everybody. That is what I'm here for. That is what this channel is. If you notice, I start making shorter videos where, I'm just providing the facts without all the fluff for those, that may not enjoy the lives. They don't like me laughing and all of that. So there you go. Okay. You got a little something that you can watch until I make some more videos. But in the meantime, on here, this is what we do. We all come on here to have a good time, to distract us from life and whatever else we have going on for a few minutes, right? Right? I feel like my lives make my channel. This is what built my channel when I start going live. Okay. And we come on here and play around. Hey, Sherry. Good to see you. How are you? I am doing well. I'm rested. I got to sleep in today. I got to spend some time with my kids, and now I'm here with y'all. I'm great. I work tomorrow, but guess what? I'm off Friday and Saturday, but I am going to do Instacart because that's my other hustle to make some extra money. But yes, I feel great. Oh, what did you do? See, that's the life I'm trying to live. What did you do? Did you go out of town? Oh, I understand. See, that's what I'm saying. That mommy life is hard. Even if you are married or, you have a significant other, like it's still hard. Like mothers, we always have to put ourselves first or whatever. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but sometimes we just need some me time without feeling guilty about it. Ooh, what are you gonna do? And I love for y'all to be here. I appreciate everybody. I really do. Thank you so much. We're gonna laugh loud tonight, okay? Oh, what you been baking? I love chocolate chip cookies, pound cake, apple pie. I'm not really a big pastry person, but what you been baking? Okay, we're gonna get started in a few minutes. I see people coming in and out. Y'all just gotta get used to the flow. This is what we do. We gotta catch up. So did anybody what new trials have you guys been watching? I just briefly did the Bryce Rose trial yesterday, and I mean, honestly, it really wasn't too much going on. It's very short. It's a two-phase trial. So the first part was just the guilt or innocent phase. And yesterday we went over the evidence, which was very sloppily done. Um, I don't know what happened there, and I'm actually gonna do a video on that. And I think whatever other day that was, we watched the testimony of Anwan and Corey, and I think that's what sealed Bryce's fate. And so they found him guilty. And in Kentucky, the jury will recommend the penalty, that whatever penalty they feel he deserves. And so yesterday they went over, well, actually, they didn't go over. They her testimony from his stepmom and someone else, and they were basically saying, that he's had problems since he's been a child and things of that nature. And then today I watched where two psychiatrists testified on his behalf and basically said that he has schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, and he also has an intellectual disability, which was formerly called mental retardation or what have you. And I'm going to do a video about that too because I can't remember it all, but it didn't matter because the jury still recommended LWOP for him. And so his sentencing will be March something, and I did notice when he got up to leave, he shook all of his attorney's hands and thanked them or whatever. And so and that's that. So it wasn't what I was thinking, and I think more so because the judge threatened to shock the hell out of him if he started acting up. So I think the jury just saw, straight through that. The fact that he has all of these disorders that they're trying to say, he was able to sit there and compose himself. And so it was pretty much an open and shut case. So but I'm gonna do a video about the psychiatrist as well as the evidence. So those are the next 2 videos to look out for. What to say, to be honest, I don't really think anything wrong with it. Oh, well, get some wine and unwind, girl, or something, okay? Hey, Shonda, how are you? How's life going? Mm. Mm. Now that's a birthday. I know you had a good time. Ooh, I do like cheesecake. Is it strawberry or cherry? Glenn, where were you? We just did Hannah today. I literally just did a live at 6 o'clock on Hannah. What you think about that? Ain't that crazy? Yep, Amar. And you know who else? What I thought about somebody that's trigger happy. Somebody I had explained how I felt like she just was a person that was used to control, and how people sometimes when people that are really controlling, and I don't like to say narcissistic, but people that own guns that have those personality traits, it's like they're anxious to use it, and I think that was her, and she reminded me also of Michael Dunn, if you remember him. He's the guy that unalive Jordan. I can't remember Jordan's last name. He was in a red car with his friends. But absolutely, yep. Did you know the jury came back today? Yes. I mean, I figured that's what was gonna happen. But, I mean, were you on a live last night? I can't remember. I was so tired, I can't remember anything. The only the only issue I had was the evidence, and, like, I was literally laying down earlier, and I started thinking about all of the evidence that they didn't collect. I didn't hear anything about, like, swabs or, like, if they like, surveillance. Did anybody smell smoke, see smoke? Nobody saw them transporting bodies. I mean, it's so much. That's why I said I gotta make another video. I was gonna leave well enough alone, but I can't. Y'all know how I am. Which one? Bryce or Hannah? What's March 13th? Oh, March 13th is the sentencing. Okay. Not bad. I'm well rested today. I was very tired last night because I've been working like crazy, but I'm okay. Cherry. I wish I had some cheesecake. Right? I don't feel sorry for her at all. I don't, because she was the aggressor. She had no reason bothering that man. That poor man was just hypoglycemic, right? Did they say he was hypoglycemic? Disoriented, confused? His sugar was probably very low. He needed to get something sweet and get to the hospital to get his sugar corrected. And here she come, Big Bird. Mind your own damn business. That's the title of my video, Glenn. Mind your damn business. Like you playing cop out here in these streets. Damn. I yep, Jordan Davis, that's him. That's on my list too. Whenever I get to it, we'll get there. Lee Merritt. Okay. I don't know why I thought who was God, it was so many back to back, but okay. I'm doing that trial soon whenever we get to it. Bryce. Okay. What'd you think about it? Very uneventful, right? I don't know. I guess we just gotta wait and see. I have no idea how that's gonna go because I have no idea. I really don't. I'm just gonna try to save my thoughts until the video. Okay. Bye bye. I'm very surprised the attorney uses the defense for her. See, now I did some research and I thought they said that they abolished it after the Aubrey situation. They did it? Right. You know, you see the thing is when you go to get a gun, you know you're going to get it for one purpose, for protection, right? Either you're going to be trigger happy or you really are getting it in the event that you'll need it. So the fact that you're driving around with it, that's number 1. Number 2, you get out of the car with it in in your right hand. What was that for? Whether you know the law or not, you know what I'm saying? Like to me that's intent right there. Because my thing is, if you were afraid of what this man could have potentially done to you, you wouldn't have gotten out of your car to approach him, gun or not, right? That's just what makes sense to me. If I'm afraid, I'm not going to be the aggressor. I'm going to sit my ass down and just let the police do what they do. I'm not going to approach your car. I don't know what you got. I don't know what you're going to say to me or what you're going to do to me when I walk up to you. So her attorney just like, if you watch his mannerisms throughout the trial, like, he really pissed me off. He was just so disrespectful, just all over the place, and then I know the one witness that testified, like, he couldn't get her to, I guess, just cow her out, like, she stuck to her testimony, and he was so upset, like, he didn't even, like, say no further questions or nothing. He just walked away back to his seat and was like, "Whatever," like, and he seemed so unorganized and just I don't even know. Because they did, however, it was still law at the time. Okay. So even though it was repealed, it would have still been a viable defense because okay. Well, I'm glad that she is where she is. I don't care how much she cries, and 43 years is not too much. I know somebody was like, "Oh, well, that's too much." No, it ain't. It ain't. What was too much is when you got out of your car and ran up on that man that was minding his business, in my opinion. All right, y'all, let's get started on this video. We got Officer, what is his name, y'all? Sholton? Yeah, that's it. Wait, hold on. What my girl Shy saying? He does. Like he just seemed really aggressive and just annoyed and just I don't even know the right words. I just all over the place and just frustrated, seemed but you know what? I did find out, y'all, he had a stroke. He had a stroke before the trial started. So I gotta read up on that some more, but I did see that. Aw. Right? Don't nobody feel sorry for you, young lady. Mhm. I'm thinking about if I wanna do that trial. Imma have a lot of trolls coming after me when I get, like, to Mike Brown and all of that. Lord, pray for me, y'all. I don't get mad at how it turns over to the clients. Believe me, it's not easy being a defense attorney from her. Hold on. I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean, I always say that though, right, y'all? Don't I say the defense has to defend? So he got to come up with something, even though, we know it's not right. It don't sound good. It don't look good. He still has a job to do at the end of the day. Um, and so it wasn't gonna work, but he had to have something. Was he? What was he doing? Help us, Lord. Okay, let me share this screen so we can get started.
Sir, please have a seat. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Bryce Skolten, spelled B-R-Y-C-E. Skolten is S-C-H-O-L-T-E-N.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. What line of work are you in?
I'm a police officer for the city of Waukesha.
How long have you been a Waukesha police officer?
7.5 years.
What's your current assignment?
Currently, I'm a specialist assigned to the Criminal Investigations Division.
What about back in November of 2021? What was your assignment back then?
I was a police officer.
Were you working as a police officer on November 21st of 2021?
Yes, I was.
Were you assigned to work at the Waukesha Christmas Parade?
Yes, I was.
Do you recall where you were posted during the parade?
My assignment was traffic control at the intersection of Northwest Avenue and Wisconsin Avenue.
Will you please put up for the jury exhibit number 1, which has previously been published?
Go ahead.
Could you circle for us the intersection where you were posted on
Yes.
this map? Actually, it's a touch. Use your finger.
Just use your finger.
I may want to take that away.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've circled the intersection of West Main Street and Wisconsin Avenue, correct?
Correct.
What does the purple line on that map depict?
The purple line is the parade route for the Christmas parade.
But then what happens to the purple line at Main and Wisconsin?
That is where the line stops. That is, I believe, where the vehicle left the parade route.
The vehicles and the groups and the participants of the parade who were marching on the parade route, where did they go once they got to the intersection of Main and Wisconsin?
They continued down the parade route, which was eastbound on Wisconsin Avenue. And then after reaching Maple Avenue, then they were to go southbound.
And the library is near that intersection, is that right?
Correct.
Traffic coming eastbound on Wisconsin Avenue from the west, were they able to get through the intersection where you were posted?
No, I had traffic blocked off where I circled there. You can barely see anymore, but the red line, that is how I had barricades across that intersection. So all eastbound traffic on Wisconsin was forced to go southbound on Northwest Avenue.
Okay, what about traffic approaching from the south on, West Avenue?
Yes, so northbound traffic on Northwest Avenue could only go westbound on Wisconsin Avenue.
Do you recall what you were wearing that day? Rejection,
Overruled.
Yes, I was wearing my standard police uniform with external carrier and a police jacket. And on my outermost layer was a neon traffic vest.
We could take this exhibit down, please.
What was that number again?
1.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
Were you the only police officer stationed at that intersection?
Yes, I was.
Do you know approximately how far away the next closest officer would have been?
I believe the next closest officer was approximately 2 blocks away.
Did you have a police radio with you while you were standing in the intersection?
Yes, I did.
At some point, did you hear something on the radio that concerned you?
Yes.
Describe that for us.
I heard, so the parade was on channel 3, so that's what I was assigned to. These radios also have the ability to scan other channels, so I was scanning channel 1, which is what the road squads were working on. At that time, I heard a call for service on channel 1 for the road squads to be dispatched to, and it was some sort of domestic disturbance or fight in Frame Park, which was east of my location. I heard squads responding to that from the south portion of the city, and Northwest Avenue or West Avenue is one of the main thoroughfares in our city to get from the southern portion to the northern portion, or at least to the downtown area. And I could hear squads coming from that area, so I blocked traffic to allow the squads to get through. And then I just continued on with my parade duties.
What happened next?
After that, approximately a minute or so later, I believe I started hearing radio traffic on both channel 3 and channel 1. I believe either a reserve officer or a community service officer on Channel 3 requested an ambulance somewhere on the eastern portion of the parade route. I remember it was sort of towards the beginning of the parade. They were asking for an ambulance because someone had been hit.
Then what happened?
I believed that it was something stemming from the domestic or the fight, because during that fight, someone had fled on scene and someone had been flagged down who had reported this incident. So I believed that the hit was something to do with the physical altercation that had happened. Moments later, this was all sort of spun out of control very quickly. Radio traffic became more and more difficult as Channel 1 and Channel 3. So as officers on the road and officers and community service officers and reserve officers were working the parade, everyone was starting to get on the radio, and more people started calling for ambulances. And then I could tell as people were calling for them, it was moving westbound on the parade route.
What did you do as a result of hearing that information on the radio?
It was tough to piece all together. I didn't know exactly what was going on. I knew something was happening, but I didn't know exactly what. I have a collar mic, so my microphone was approximately right about here on my chest. I don't have an earpiece. That's just what I use. So between trying to listen to the radio microphone and the parade, it was sort of hard to piece together. But after a few minutes, I realized something was happening. I began walking away from my post, and I walked past my barricade sort of into the parade route. And as I did that, I was looking more to like northeast. I couldn't see that much of the parade because where West Main Street ends right there, it's got a hard turn to go southbound to Wisconsin. So I could only see approximately, I don't even know, maybe 100 yards or less of the parade route. And at that point, that is when I started hearing more screams. And this time it wasn't just screams on my radio. It was screams like in my vicinity that I could hear. And at that moment, I saw a red blur come past the Wisconsin House westbound and make a very hard braking maneuver to navigate the left-hand turn on West Main Street to go
there. And let's put
southbound.
Exhibit 1. Sorry, let's put Exhibit 1 back up, please.
As you're putting Exhibit 1 back up, I just want to make a record of the hand gesture he made previously when testifying about, I believe it was his radio microphone. He used his right hand, I would say about heart height, to indicate his, I believe he called it a lapel mic or something to do with his radio and where he would hear from. Go ahead.
Objection. I don't think he said lapel. I think he referred to the microphone just being here and not using the earpiece. That's just.
Oh, your objection is noted. The state can seek clarification, but the fact I did my best to describe the action of the officer on the stand. Go ahead.
Thank you. Can we actually zoom in on the bottom left corner of this map? You mentioned the Wisconsin House. Can you describe for us where that is?
The Wisconsin House is actually this building right here that is tan. It's the farthest building right before, I guess, on the left portion.
You just put a little dot there.
That should be the Wisconsin House.
Okay, so right as the Main Street curves to the left there.
I believe it's the last building sort of on West Main Street right before the left turn.
So if you were standing in the intersection of Wisconsin and Main, the Wisconsin House is the building that would obstruct your view further east up Main Street?
Correct. There's a parking lot to the left as you look at the screen, and the vehicle's parked there. So I can't even see pretty much anything in front of the Wisconsin House on Main Street from my location.
We can take that back down, please. What happened as the red blur rounded the corner?
I realized what was happening at that point. I recognized it was a red SUV, and there was extreme vehicle damage to it on the front. The hood was smashed up towards the windshield, the front portion, the front bumpers, the fenders, everything was, it was extreme vehicle damage, like vehicle damage that you would see at a traffic crash between two vehicles. At that point, between all the screaming I heard, everyone calling for ambulances and help, and then realizing people hit, I knew it was now people hit by a vehicle. And I knew that those initial requests were so far eastbound on the parade, and now I'm at towards the end of the parade, or at least the end of the portion of Main Street. I knew that this vehicle had likely, and based on the speed of the vehicle, that the vehicle had ran through the entire parade route and likely severely injured people or killed people. And at that point, I thought it was a terror attack at the parade.
What happened as the SUV continued southbound?
As the vehicle navigated its turn to go southbound, it accelerated towards me. That is when I knew I had to use deadly force to stop the threat. And as the vehicle was approaching me, I remembered making the decision that the easiest shot likely would have been through the windshield. However, I remembered the entire backdrop were just surrounded with kids and people. So I waited for the vehicle to pass me and tried to direct my rounds as most southern as I could, because there were less people in that direction.
Where were you standing in the intersection as the vehicle passed you?
At this point, I had walked northbound slightly. So I was, I believe, just out of the intersection at West in Wisconsin. So I was on, I believe my shots, I was technically on Main Street.
Okay, y'all know I gotta talk in between because it's not my video. Let me catch up on these comments. Wait, how do I change this? Wait a minute. Wait. I think I can make this larger. Just hold on, y'all. Banners. Okay, brands. Hold on. I'll make these bigger. There we go. The testimony was epic. Darrell was really like, "You shot at me," clutching his pearls. Girl, clutching them pearls, his invisible dreads, that plastic pen he got so that he can't harm himself or others. What else he clutching? His butt cheeks. Everything. Goodness. He is a hater. He is. Y'all laughing at his expense. This ain't funny. His life is on the line. Not y'all's. Ain't nothing funny up in here. Right? Hey, Melanator. Haven't seen you in a little while. How are you? Right. So, his suit, that tie, a fresh haircut, shave off my beard so they don't know who I am. What else? His banker's boxes, all of his paperwork, neatly on the table with his red folder to have his side sit information, so he can make his objections and all of that and call all y'all out to ask for where y'all licenses at, y'all oaths of offices, all of that, right? Right? Right. Right. All right, let's go back. Oh, right.
Street at the time when I began shooting.
Using cardinal directions, can you describe for us which side of you the SUV passed?
Objection, what is cardinal?
Overruled. The witness may answer.
The vehicle passed to the east of me.
What direction were you facing as it first started to pass you?
I was facing north.
So that would have been the vehicle would have passed you on your right.
Correct.
How close did you come to the vehicle as it passed you?
It was very close. I believe at the time, I remember stepping to my left. It was so close, I felt like I could touch the side of the vehicle.
Could you see into the vehicle?
Yes, I could.
How many people could you see inside of the vehicle?
I saw one person.
Where was that person in the vehicle?
That person was at the driver's seat of the vehicle.
Did you get a good look at the driver?
Yes, I did.
Did you see
Uh-oh.
the driver in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Your Honor, I'd ask Mr. Brooks please remove his mask for a moment.
Thank you for doing that, Mr. Brooks. His mask is off.
you identify the driver in the courtroom if you see him?
Yes, the driver is seated at the defense wearing a blue tie and blue shirt underneath his suit jacket.
Does the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant?
The record will reflect the witness has identified the defendant as the driver of the vehicle he saw on November 21.
Mm-mm.
What happened after the vehicle passed you on your right?
After the vehicle passed me on my right, I began firing at the driver of the vehicle. And as that happened, he ran over the barricades and ultimately left the parade route and continued southbound on Northwest Avenue.
West Avenue is how many blocks from Maple Avenue?
One block.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
And to what direction is west from Maple?
West Avenue is 1 block to the west from Maple.
I'd like to show for the witness only, please, exhibit number 57. Can we clear the annotations? You see a video on the screen in front of you?
Yes, I do.
We're going to play a few moments without any audio just to see if you recognize this video, okay?
Okay.
We've played 7 seconds for you. Do you recognize this video?
Yes, I do.
What does it show?
This is the vehicle that was driven by Darrell Brooks on during the Christmas parade that drove past me and I shot at.
Objection. I don't
What?
consent to her being called that name, or nor do I identify it. I'm hearing third party. So
Your
I want that
objection
stated
is
for the
noted.
record.
It's overruled. The witness has previously identified you.
I want
Go
that
ahead.
stated for the record.
Let me ask your next question.
Does this video accurately depict the scene as you saw it that day?
Yes, it does.
Move exhibit 57 into evidence and request permission to publish.
Exhibit 57 is received by the court and permission to publish is granted.
This is a 19-second video. I'll wait for the bailiff to signal that the jury has it. Okay. Before we hit play, I'd like you, if you can, to point out the Wisconsin house for us.
The Wisconsin house is this brown brick building here on the right that has the Golden Moments Gentleman Beer sign right here.
Thank you. We can clear that. And we'll watch the entirety of this clip with volume, please, at regular speed.
Damn, did y'all hear how he revved up that engine? That was his car that was doing that, right? And I got headphones on, so maybe it's a little bit more amplified, but damn, I heard like vroom. Did y'all hear that?
Okay. How many gunshots did you hear in that video?
3.
Is that consistent with your memory of the event?
Yes, it is.
Can we pull that back up at about the 10-second mark, please? Do you see yourself at the 10-second mark?
Yes, I do.
Can you circle yourself for us? You're the only person at this 10-second mark wearing a yellow vest.
Correct.
Okay, we can clear that, please.
Now, Darrell, you told us that the car couldn't stop, the brakes ain't work. What if the driver couldn't stop the vehicle? Well, it looked to me like them brake lights right there. Now, was you gonna try to run over this good cop or what? I see brake lights, sir.
Can we slow this down with no audio? Slow it down to about 50%, please. and play from there. And we pause it. We've stopped at 16 seconds. Does that portion of the video accurately reflect what you did that day?
That is correct.
Okay. I'd like to show for the witness only, please, exhibit number 170.
Go ahead.
See what y'all over here talking about. And I hope you ain't spent too much, girl. Okay, Monica. So how many times did he rev it? And then, like, so if you low on gas, and you think that's what made him run out of gas even faster, the fact that he was revving his engine the way he did? Right. Right, how dare you shoot him? Because listen, had them people not been in his way, they wouldn't have tore up his car. And then this officer had the all damn audacity to put 3 holes in it. Now he really ain't got no way to get home and finish living out the rest of his life. You know that was his house. He was damn close. He almost ran him over. Almost. I gotta go back and watch that. I don't think I'm gonna play it on this channel like replay it or whatever, because it's just too heartbreaking. But I think he was trying to hit him. He would have hit him. He would have hit that man.
Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
What does it show?
This shows the vehicle damage that I observed when I first saw the vehicle as it was coming towards me. This is the vehicle that was, again, driven the Christmas parade by Darrell Brooks.
Objection, I don't consent to being called that name. Again, for the record, I'm hearing third party.
The
For the
objection,
record.
it's on the record.
Does this appear to be a screenshot from the video we just watched, exhibit 57?
It does appear so.
And again, this is then an accurate depiction of how the vehicle looked that day.
That is correct.
I'd move exhibit 170 into evidence and ask to publish.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. Exhibit 170 is received. Permission to publish is granted. I would remind the jury once again that comments made by parties and lawyers are not evidence and should thus not be considered as such.
Now I'd like to show for the witness only exhibit number 169, please.
Go ahead.
Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
This is that same vehicle. It appears to be just moments after that first picture we just were shown.
Does this appear to be a screenshot from the video in exhibit 57?
Yes, it does.
Is this an accurate depiction of how the vehicle and the driver looked to you that day?
Yes.
Move exhibit 169 into evidence and ask to publish.
Objection,
Exhibit 169 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
objection.
Noted. Overruled.
Now I'd like to show for the witness only, please.
Hold on. Was that in the jury box? Okay, it was there. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that earlier. All right, so next exhibit you may show to the witness.
Exhibit 58, please. We're going to play a few seconds of this, give you a chance to see if you recognize it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. We've played 7 seconds. Do you recognize this video?
Yes, I do.
What does it show?
It shows pretty much what the last video showed, just from a different point of view from that same intersection.
Is this an accurate video depicting the events as you saw them on November 21st?
Yes, it does.
Move Exhibit 58 into evidence and ask to publish with the caveat about the comments on the right side of the screen, please.
Objection.
Exhibit 58 is received. Permission to publish is granted. The jury will
Does he think that because he objects to evidence being shown that they just gonna be like, all right, well, we ain't gonna show it? Like, I'm so sick of him. I don't think he was really mad at for being popped at. I think he's more mad the officer was in the way from causing further harm. You think so? Over and over, right? And then the thing is, nobody's even talking to him right now. So what are you really responding to? Nobody ain't even saying nothing to him. Wait, y'all, well, no, because he got lawyers this time, so he probably won't be able to say that in Milwaukee. Because I know, like, at his sentencing, he gave us his real name, but then when he went for his that hearing he had for his appeal or his notice of intent, he was a third party intervener again. Toe down. Toe down. Called that name. He don't consent to it. Right?
disregard the comments that are on the right side of the exhibit. Those are not to be considered as evidence.
This is a 15-second clip. We'll play it once at regular speed with audio, please.
What's scary? I don't know scary. What's aggravating, I think, for me and a lot of y'all is the fact how he can watch this over and over like he wasn't there. I mean, watches it without blinking. What is he watching to see? Where somebody else effed up at? Like he had rights to be on that road? Look at him. Look at his eyes. It's like he's fascinated with his work.
We see the barricades at the end of that clip. Is that right?
That is correct.
And do you recall what those are made out of?
I believe they're made out of fiberglass or plastic.
And what we saw in that video, again, that's inaccurate. Does that match up with how you recall the incident?
That is correct.
That's all I have, Your Honor. Thank you.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Any questions for
Here
this
we
witness?
go. Uh-oh. Here we go, y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let's see what y'all talking about before we get to this part. Man, from the going in and out to making it to the courtroom from wherever they were located in a courthouse, only to be told to wait a minute, to go back to the continuous objections, to him throwing the tantrums, to having to leave again so that they can handcuff him and take him to the other court. Like I would be exhausted. And then not only that, the fact that I got to keep hearing these people panic and scream via this evidence, all of the videos they have to watch, the testimony, and then to have to go back and relive that until they all come to a unanimous decision. I would hate him too. I would be exhausted. That's probably why nobody has come forward because they probably just don't even want to mention anything related to him anymore. Mhm. Mhm. That's true. Math boy fly. Man, somebody else was saying that. I can't remember the exact words they used, but they said to him, it makes it seem as if, um, God, what did they say? I can't think right now. Basically, I guess the hood would admire him because he stood up to law enforcement and quote unquote held his own in court or whatever, and so he would be admired for his efforts. Okay, he does enjoy it. It's sickening. It's crazy. I mean, sitting deep up on it. Okay, he done bankhead bounced through that parade, and now he's sitting up high. He holding that wheel for dear life. Oh, Glenn is about to be an attorney. He's a 2L. 2L Glenn. Glenn, are you gonna do prosecution or defense? Mm, yeah, good point. Good point. And eyes be big as quarters. Hey, boo thing, how you doing? You think they laughing? Yes, he do. He got Terry on, Marcus, and I know Marcus ain't here with us no more, but he said Marcus, doggone it. Stephanie, old girl in Nevada, all of them rooting for him. All right, even his own raggedy bald headed mama. Okay, probably telling her grandkids, "Look what your uncle did. Look what your daddy did. The whole world is against him, and he got mental illness, but yet." He stood up and told them what time it was. All right, let's see what this fool about to say.
Witness, sir.
I do. Um, you stated initially that you had heard some radio calls about a possible altercation at Frame Park.
That is correct.
Do you recall what the initial report of that was?
My recollection of that was that there was a call for service, is either a domestic or some sort of physical altercation along the riverfront in Frame Park, and that there was a male with a armed with a knife, and that he was fleeing from the area.
So it was reported it was a possible knife involved, and there was a male running from the scene.
That is correct.
And were you ever given any further information about the male with the knife that was running from the scene?
No.
Any information that the male with a knife running from the scene was in a vehicle at any time?
No.
Do you know if any investigation was done looking into that supposed fight at the park?
Yes.
And what did you learn?
I did not learn anything of it. I just know that squads were responding there to investigate it. I was not updated on their findings or what they had investigated. I just know that they were dispatched there for that investigation.
Do you recall if there was ever a knife recovered or a suspect recovered in that supposed incident?
Do you mean like how much later do I know? Like what I know now?
At any time. Do you know
Oh Lord.
if there was a suspect, I guess I would say apprehended or anything that was found with a knife, to your knowledge?
To my knowledge, I do not know if the suspect from that incident, which was you, was located
When you
with a
say
knife.
you, what do you mean?
Uh-oh.
You, Darrell
Uh-oh.
Brooks. I know you were the suspect in that incident, and I know you were taken into custody approximately 30 to 40 minutes later. I do not know if you were armed when you were taken into custody.
I'll let the record reflect that I do not identify by that name, nor do I know any individual by that name. I'm here in third party.
Records noted, although the jury will disregard the comments, they
You
are
keep
not
saying-
evidence in this case.
Next question, please.
At the time You said, did you respond to that incident at the park?
No,
So how can you know who was involved with it if you didn't respond yourself?
Oh, Lord.
because you stated at any time this investigation took a long time to complete. And from this investigation, we determined that you were the suspect in that
You
investigation.
determined that?
I did not, no.
Okay.
Okay, now what?
So basically, you just going off what
Y'all, Darrell really had this man on the stand for an hour. I'm looking at the time. We 26 minutes in. The video is an hour 26 minutes. He legit had this man on this stand for an hour. Yes, he do. The whole hood rallying around him. Oh God. Cause he gotta let the record reflect that all of y'all is corrupt, okay? Oh goodness. Oh God. Hmm. Hey Joanna, how are you? Hey Pips K, how are you? You good? Well, let's think about it. All right. Let's see. His defense is the car wouldn't stop. Well, let's run a record back. Let's back up real quick. Okay. Basically, the person that had the knife is not him. And you can't say it's him because you didn't know my name at the time of the incident, okay? And then we're gonna get into how, you shot at my car for no reason. You didn't have to shoot me. You see, I was trying to drive away or whatever. You was in my way, but there wasn't no reason for you to shoot at the silhouette. Nothing. Darrell up here playing lawyer, okay? You know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if the previous lawyers had an opportunity to write out questions for this witness. Because it doesn't seem to me that any of these questions are questions that a lawyer would ask. But that's just me. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Hey, how are you? All right, y'all. Let's see what else he's talking about.
you were told, because you just stated that you didn't make any determination, nor did you investigate it. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
You also gave, and when you were asked the question of were there any other officers along the route, or I don't know if that was referring to side exits or anything of that nature, but I recall you stating that you gave an estimate, stating that you weren't sure where other officers were stationed, but you gave an approximate estimate. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And would that have been officers stationed at different cross streets?
That is correct.
Do you know if those cross streets were barricaded?
I know that there were barricades across numerous intersections for the parade route. That's how we shut down traffic in the downtown area for parades.
So pretty much every side street is barricaded.
I can't give you specifics on what streets were barricaded, but yes, the vast majority of streets are barricaded to stop traffic for the parade route.
Can you pull up Exhibit 1 and publish?
The state would please do that. Thank you.
Does the jury have it
Yes.
He
yet?
lawyering, ain't
Can
he,
you
y'all?
see, well, I know you can. Can you see the red lines on this map that we're looking at?
Yes.
And what do those red lines constitute?
Barricades.
Oh,
So would it be fair to say that there's a red line at every cross street that we can see on this map? That would be
You mean
Start-
along the parade route or
start
the entire map?
along the parade route, starting at East Main Street. There's a red mark. Oh, I didn't mean to put that arrow. Can we clear that? I was trying to put like a little dot. Starting there, there's a red line there. There's 2 at Buckley.
Hold on, and just so the record is clear, he put a mark at near the intersection of East Main and White Rock Avenue. So from that location to where?
There's 2 at Buckley.
Well, hold on, you're testifying now, you gotta ask a question. So the juror will disregard that
Are
statement.
there 2 at Buckley?
Yes.
Is there one at Martin Street?
Yes.
Is there one at is there 2 at Barstow Street?
Yes.
1 at Gaspar,
Yes.
1 at North Grand, and 1 at West Broadway.
okay, Darrell.
There's 2 at West Broadway.
Well, this one is on the closer to where it says North Grand, and one is on the other side of the star right there. This is what I'm referring to.
Okay. Yes, there are
Can
2
you
right
clear
there.
Please clear that, Madam Clerk.
So there's 2 there. There's 2 at Clinton Street. Can you see those 2?
Yes.
There's 1 at Maple Avenue. Can you see that one?
Yes.
And there's 1 at right here at West Avenue. Can you see that?
Correct. Yes.
So it would be fair to say that there's pretty much barriers at every single street from White Rock and East Main to West Main and Northwest Avenue.
Yes.
Barricades at all those streets.
Yes.
Do you know if there were officers stationed at those barricades?
Yes. This map shows, it appears, where everyone was for their assignments that day.
So would it be fair to say if someone wanted to exit the parade route, they would essentially be blocked in by the officers and barricades?
No.
There are barricades at these streets we can see. Would that be fair to say?
No.
So it's not fair to say that there's barricades at these streets?
It's fair to say that there's barricades at the streets.
So essentially, if someone was leaving the parade route, can they just go right through the barricades?
Based on the previous videos that we just were shown,
Not based on the previous video.
Now, Darrell, you know that ain't gonna work. You're not gonna tell me that you couldn't stop the car and just politely ask them to remove the barricade. Excuse me, I accidentally ended up on this street. Can I please get off? So instead, you drive through all of these people. Wouldn't it make more sense to drive over a barricade on a side street and plow through a parade? Is this the defense? Glenn, I think this is his defense that it was barricades and so he couldn't he couldn't drive on the side street. I mean, come on.
Someone was leaving the parade route, can they just go down these streets that are barricaded? Can they just drive right out of there?
But he's asking this like people like this happens all of the time. Like people all of the time end up on a parade route and have to figure out how to get off. Oh, Darrell, I just don't know what to do with you anymore.
yes, the video showed that.
How when it's
Uh-oh.
barricaded?
As the video were shown
We're not
earlier,
referring
the
to the
vehicle
We're
went
not
right through the
referring to
Hold on,
barricade.
you asked the question, you have to let him answer that he's giving you the reason. You asked him how. He's explaining it.
There's plenty of ways to get off the parade route. You can stop after being given lawful orders by officers, and they could have directed you off the parade route in a safe manner. You could have stopped the vehicle at any point, or you could have driven through plastic barricades like you did at Northwest Avenue, where I was located.
Oh,
So yes, you
You
can drive
refer to
through
as
plastic
who?
barricades.
The
You.
you refer to as who?
Darrell Brooks, you, the person that's talking.
The you? And how did you come to the conclusion of that name, as you stated that you couldn't see past this building here, which you said is the Wisconsin House? Would that be fair to say?
Well, that's a compound question, so you need to rephrase that, sir.
You stated, clear this right there.
Please? Is that a please?
Can you clear this circle and arrow right here? That's,
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
you stated that from where you were positioned that you couldn't see around that building.
oh,
Did
wait.
you-
Do I see Bama green eyes? Wait a minute. I think I see her. Hold on, I gotta get through these questions, these comments one more. Hey, John. Bama! I am so happy to see you. How was your vacation? I hope you are refreshed and feeling well. He can't. He is so pissed with this cop, but he's trying to keep his composure. But we see through it, right? We see through it.
Say that.
Yes, I did.
So it would be fair to say you also couldn't see what was happening along the parade route on Main Street. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
So it would be also fair to say that everything that you knew up until that point came over the radio and you didn't have firsthand knowledge.
That is correct.
Okay, what now?
You also stated that after a few minutes of hearing these, I guess, radio reports, you said after a few minutes,
Mm-hmm.
you noticed something was going on. Do you recall from the reports how long this vehicle traveled along the parade route? An estimate of the time that it traveled down the parade route?
I do not know how long the vehicle was on the parade route for. If I had to estimate, I would estimate approximately 1 to 2.5 minutes. 2 minutes, maybe.
Would you say that it's fair to say that that's relatively a short amount of time?
I would agree with that.
So what do you mean by after a few minutes, you noticed something was going on?
Because after a few minutes, what I meant by that was the initial call for service at the boat launch, or for that domestic fight in Frame Park. From that time frame, from when squads were responding to there to the time that I had shots fired, that is what I mean by a few minutes. So you have to take into account the time for squads responding to that call.
I don't know police protocol, so just
Okay,
asking.
Darrell.
Mr. Brooks, please ask your next question.
I'm getting to it.
No, right, but
Uh-oh.
I have to advise the jury to disregard the comment because it's not testimony.
Lord have mercy. Is they getting ready to get to fighting, y'all? Oh, I'm so glad you had a good time. I've missed you. Very rude. Very. Uh-oh. Oh, John. Hey, Vive Kitten. Where you been? Oh, goodness. Oh, God. I mean, crazy, right? Oh, no, John. Oh, no. It's not funny what happened to you, but you don't, you're going to find a way to make us laugh. So we're not laughing at what happened to you. You are hilarious. Very much so. Oh, my goodness gracious. Mhm, mhm, mhm. He about ready to jump over that table, ain't he? All right, let's see.
And you stated that, well, let's go to,
Yeah, go ahead. You don't need, do you need that? We're gonna turn it off.
yeah, you can take that down. Sorry about that.
All right, thank you.
I believe it's Exhibit 57. You can pull up Exhibit 57.
Judge Doro up there
Can
tearing them
we
keys
bring it
up.
to about 16 or 17 seconds? Can you bring it back a little bit?
Oh Lord, help us. Help us.
One more second if you could. Derek, can you pause it, Derek? Would it be fair to say that those are barricades that
Wait,
are laying
y'all.
in the street there?
Wait. Oh God. He having a hard time seeing or what? What you saying? Oh God. Y'all are crazy.
Correct.
Any idea why they were not standing up?
Yes, I do.
What would be the reason?
It was very windy that day, so when they were standing up how they normally are, they kept on blowing across the street. So we tilted them on their sides so they wouldn't get blown across the road, and they would still stay up there and block traffic.
They would be able to block traffic by laying down,
Yes, they serve the same purpose.
but they would be able to block traffic by laying down.
I guess I don't understand what your question is here.
Would it be much more easier to see them if they were facing
Right, she
upright
was, John.
than laying down?
I think the height difference between them laying down and being upright is probably quite minuscule, because as you see, the legs that are now up in the air are approximately the same height as what the bar would be if they were standing up how they normally are.
And you come to that conclusion how?
Based on my training experience after deploying barricades on numerous events and working several parades in my work history.
So you would estimate that a barricade facing upright and a barricade laying down would be the same height.
Approximately.
Can you bring it back to 10 seconds? from what we're looking at right now, it's a little hard to see. You can see the vehicle, you can see where you identified you were, but it's a little bit hard to see everything. Would that be fair to say? Because of the person with the black coat and the gray hoodie and Nike black pants is directly in the middle of the screen. That'd
That's
be fair to
correct.
say it's a little hard to see from this.
Where it is paused now, yes.
Yes, that's what I meant. Where it's paused now.
Yes.
It looks like this would be you right here. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
It looks like you're firing your weapon right there. Would that be fair to say?
I do not know if I have pulled the trigger yet or not. I don't believe I have.
You were readying to fire at that point.
That's correct.
Do you recall what you were aiming for?
Yes, I do.
Can you state for the record and for the jury?
Nazarel.
You, Darrell Brooks.
Oh,
Again, you make reference to the you and the name.
mm-hmm.
How did you come to that? Seeing as how you just testified to that you couldn't see anything before what you call the Wisconsin house. Would that be fair to say that you testified to that?
That's correct.
And you also stated that you learned additional information later on. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
So how could you determine at this time right now where we're looking at that you knew the suspect's name and the driver?
What difference does it
Because you keep
make?
referring to you and then you saying the name. How did you have that information at this point that's paused right here that we're looking at?
I didn't say at that time I knew your name.
You referred to the name. Did you not?
That's correct.
So how were you able to obtain the information about a name?
I did not know your name at the time I shot at you,
Oh,
Who's the you were referring to?
Darrell Brooks.
Again, you say a name that you haven't answered how you came to that information. Were you told this?
Yes.
By whom?
I do not know who told me.
what
Ultimately, I just
difference
know
does it
that
make?
throughout the course of the investigation, your name, you were arrested within 30 or 40 minutes, and you were identified as Darrell Brooks, who was the suspect in this incident.
So you either had to hear that name from either a report that you heard or someone told you. How did you come to the conclusion of the name?
I'm assuming someone at the police department told me your name.
And you don't recall who that was,
No,
even though you can cite the name so clearly and identify it and keep stressing it and stressing it, and you don't recall how you learned the information of the name.
that is correct.
So is it fair to say that you're just using the name based off what you're told and not what you were aware of?
What are you asking me?
Is it fair to say that you're identifying this name based off of what you told and not what you knew?
I'm saying the name based on the fact that you are now, you were arrested.
What I'm just so lost right now. He don't need no name to try to stop you from driving through this parade. I don't. What is he getting at here? Ain't no way this could have been my child. This couldn't have been my child. Mm-mm. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. Cause if he was doing this when he was 10 years old, I would have had to take him down to the welfare office and beg and plead with them to take him. I couldn't have handled this here. I couldn't have handled it. That's why I don't understand why his mom is going so hard for him. and saying he got an unfair trial. Girl, take this as a break. I can't imagine what he put her through day in and day out, and poor Erica that had to deal with this. Just round and round and round and round till you just, oh,
For this incident. You were identified during this incident. And because of that investigation, that is how we know your name.
Would it be fair to say, and obviously you said you've been in law enforcement for 7.5 years, correct?
Correct.
I'm sure you've done a lot of investigations in that 7.5 years. Is that fair to say?
Correct.
So you do understand that during a police investigation, any suspect is innocent until proven guilty. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
And so with that knowledge, why are you so adamant about the name
not
of the suspect
eminent.
that you just testified to not being aware of at the time? That you testified to, in fact, being told.
What?
Sorry, I'm confused by your question. Can you say it again?
I think it was clear, but I'll say it again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll say it this way. You testified to not being aware of the suspect's name at the time.
Correct.
You also testified to being told of the name, correct?
Correct. I don't know how I came about your name. I would assume it was through the investigation at the police department.
And were you, in fact, part of that investigation?
No, I was not.
So it would be fair to say that by you using a name, you would not be short. How can you be short?
I'll object.
Y'all, he literally have been questioning this man for 20 minutes about a name. Didn't nobody know your name when all of this jumped off? They didn't get your name, sir, until your bald-headed mama called the police and told them you stole her car. That was the first mentioning of your name. Furthermore, it don't matter. They don't need your name to apprehend you and get you to stop running over people. You don't have a defense. So this is the defense. How you find out what my name is at the time of the car driving through here with the barricades laying on the ground that could possibly be the same height as they were standing up. And Judge Doro better not overrule this.
Grounds.
Argumentative.
It's been asked, it's been answered. It's argumentative. The objection is sustained. Please ask your next question.
Thank you. Now what?
When asked about what you were aiming at when you fired, you didn't give a definitive answer. You were aiming for the driver.
I felt like I gave a pretty definitive answer. My answer was you,
You
Darrell
were aiming
Brooks.
for the driver.
Oh,
Yes.
you.
It's pretty definitive. I identified the person I was
So
shooting at.
what part of the driver's body could you see when the vehicle passed you?
When the vehicle was approaching me, I could see the silhouette of his face and upper portion of his body.
Can you describe what you mean by silhouette?
The upper portion of a person's body, I would say, from maybe chest, shoulders, and head and face.
You said silhouette though. What is a silhouette?
The outer.
Now, Glenn, I hate to put you on the spot, but I gotta ask you, or John, you in law enforcement. When he says silhouette, is he talking about how they're trained to operate a GUN per the marker? So I think that's what it's called. The marker that you use to train. Is he talking about that? Like, is he referencing the marker that they use to train so they know, they shoot to unalive you? They're not just shooting you to stop. So is he speaking of that? And I hope I'm making sense when I say that. So, the black silhouette that you use when you go to the gun range, is he speaking of that? Like he sees the head and the torso, the upper head and torso? Am I making sense? Let me know.
Outer portions of what would be like your shoulder down, your arms to your chest. The silhouette would be the outer portion of it.
That would be the upper half, not the silhouette. What do you mean by silhouette?
The objection is sustained. It's Mr. Brooks is not asking a question. It was argumentative. The jury can certainly decide what that means, but he's answered the question.
Would it be fair to say that that would be equivalent to a profile?
What do you mean by a profile?
A profile would be sort of like a.
Darrell, just give us a minute. Just give us a damn minute. Hell. God, I gotta catch up with these comments. We all confused. Listen, I done sat up here and got a headache. I drank all my wine. I don't know what to do. Oh God. Exactly. I couldn't have dealt with it. I feel so bad for Erica. I really do. She is. Lord have mercy. Oh my gosh. For real though. Is Leslie over there snitching? What y'all think she's saying? I still gotta work on that video all the time. She just snitched on Darrell. I love it. He did. And was so polite when he said it. Darrell Brooks, yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Oh gosh. Oh God. You think she had a little something in her little water bottle over there? Yes. Oh gosh. Did he drop out? Okay, I thought so. Okay. What's the paper thing? What is it? Does that have a particular name? I don't remember. I thought that's what he was referring to. Oh gosh. Excuse me, y'all. Okay, so a silhouette. So is that what he was referring to? Your silhouette, where I can shoot to unalive you, right? Right? I'm on my way. I'm right behind you. The side view, right? I saw that. Didn't he have on like red and black? I saw it somewhere. Where did I see that mess? I can't remember. I was screaming. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh god. Oh. Oh god. Man, I would have been sipping every day. Is that what I said? Target paper thing? You know what I mean. Sure did. Every single one. Well, he should have became something where he can argue professionally. Doggone it. He would have excelled at that. Be something you can straight sit up and just argue, just debate team or something. Now wait a minute now. Don't do that. Don't do that. I do this how I want. It's my channel. Now don't come on here telling me how to do my channel. We laugh and we talk and we have a good time. So I'll push the button when I'm ready. Thank you. John, that was send me. Oh goodness, y'all are a mess. Y'all are a mess, I swear. Oh God, I gotta pull that back up. That was hilarious. All right, let's go back.
Like a side angle view. Would it be fair to say that a silhouette would be more of an outline that would be kind of similar to a profile?
I don't know exactly what you're asking here, but I can tell you when the vehicle was driving towards me, I could see your face. And then as the vehicle drove to my right, yes, then I saw the side of your face. And so then, yes, as a vehicle passes you, you see different portions of the driver, I guess you could say.
And so you aim towards what you can see.
Correct.
So that would be the upper part, as you say, you said the shoulder, you made I think it was your left hand pointing to your right shoulder, shoulder and up silhouette, as you say.
That is what I could see when you were driving at me. You asked me what I could see of you, and that is what I could see of you in the vehicle when you were approaching me.
The question now, though, is that what you aim for?
I was aiming at you, yes.
At what you can see?
I was aiming at you in the driver's seat, yes.
Shoulder, as you pointed to, and up, correct? Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Firing a weapon of your caliber, would any of those shots be kill shots?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that firing a kill shot at anyone would terrify him?
I'm sure being shot at is terrifying. Yes, it is.
So it'd be fair to say you were shooting to kill?
No.
So would it be fair to say that, judging based on what you see, that you testify to a silhouette from about here that you pointed to, from the shoulder, using your left hand, you pointed at your right shoulder from here up, and you just acknowledged that any one of those three shots could have been kill shots? Would it be fair to say that you were aiming to kill? Shooting to kill, rather, not aiming to kill, but shooting to kill?
No.
So in your estimate, what do you think you would have hit if you just testified to saying that you aimed at the driver? What were you estimating to hit?
Well, my intention was to shoot you in the upper portion of the body. However, my intention was not to kill you. My intention was to stop the threat that you were posing to everyone in the downtown area at the Christmas parade.
Keep referring to the you again. Well, that's not a question. So by your estimation, acknowledging that those were kill shots, if you connected with any of those shots, is it possible the driver could have been killed?
Yes.
And would it be fair to say that that's deadly force?
Yes.
Do you think it would have been possible to aim at the tire of the vehicle?
No.
Why not? Would shooting the tire of the vehicle not stop the vehicle?
No, it would not have.
So a blown tire would, to your estimation, a blown tire would not stop a vehicle from moving?
No, it will not.
So it'll just keep on. It won't even slow down.
That is correct. I'm trained to stop the threat. You were the threat. The vehicle was not. The vehicle was the weapon in which you used. So that is why I shot at you.
There's the you again.
Uh-oh.
Pretty clever. Could you have? Well, you testify that you're trying to stop the threat, and so would it be fair to say that that training constitutes shooting kill shots?
Well, we are trained in deadly force. And when we are presented with a deadly force incident, yes, we have to sometimes make that difficult decision and use deadly force.
Have you ever used deadly force before that incident?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
You said you're trained to use deadly force.
Mm-hmm.
So would it be fair to say that anytime you shoot your weapon, it would be deadly force?
When it is directed at a person, yes.
Were you injured in any way during the incident?
No, I was not.
And at the time, being where you were positioned at, you've already testified that you could not see what was going on during the parade route from your position. So why did you feel the need at the time, not knowing the full extent of what was happening, to use deadly force?
Because as I previously stated, based on the fact that the radio traffic for people screaming for ambulances, and as different officers were getting on the radio, and it was progressively moving further and further westbound towards me on the parade route, that, and then officers saying someone was hit, which I initially thought was a physical altercation, someone being hit, but it was a vehicle versus person hit. Based on that, the vehicle speed at which, yes, I could not see it down Main Street. I only had a couple seconds at most until the vehicle from where I saw it was to my location. So based on the amount of vehicle damage, I knew the vehicle had been striking pedestrians in the roadway. And because of that, that's a deadly force incident. So that is why I deployed deadly force.
So you said you knew what the vehicle had. You knew. You said it multiple times. You knew.
Yes.
How could you know if you could not see around the position that you were positioned in? How do you know that?
Because based on the speed of a vehicle on a closed roadway during a parade, and people running out of the way so they did not get run over right in front of me, between all of those things, I knew what had just happened, and that is why I had to take action.
And you knew based on the radio reports?
I would say everything that I had just previously described, all of that encompassing, yes, that led up to my decision making into, yes, now I knew what had happened. I did not know previous to that what was going on. I did not know there was a vehicle on the roadway until I saw it. And it all made sense when I put everything together.
When you saw it, by the time you saw it, as you said, it was a couple of seconds. So at that point, did you observe the vehicle strike anyone from the time that you saw it?
No, I did not. I was focused on the vehicle. So I just remember that there were a ton of little kids and adults on the sidewalks. I knew there were a lot of children right in the roadway right there. And I remember seeing people like running, but I wasn't really paying attention to the people. I was just focused on the vehicle. So that was really all I was focused on at that point.
You weren't paying attention to any other people.
That was not my primary focus.
But you do recall that no one was struck from the time you saw the vehicle?
Yes, after looking back, after videos later on throughout the investigation.
No. From what you saw, from which you observed with your own eyes?
No, I can't recall ever seeing someone hit right in front of me. No, I do not recall that.
Does the exhibit videos that you saw here today, does anyone get struck in those videos that you saw today?
No, not that I saw today.
And you still made the decision to shoot to kill?
That's correct. Actually, correction, I shot to stop the threat. If ultimately you would have been killed from that, that is a possible outcome.
But you did testify that they were kill shots, did you not?
Objection. Argument.
Sustained. It's also been asked and answered in multiple ways.
Do you recall what your shots
Multiple
hit? If anything?
The car.
Yes, later on throughout the investigation, when I
No,
gave
at
my
the time. Not later on, at the time where you fired the shots.
Mr. Brooks, you asked a question. He was attempting to answer it. So you have to
I was
let,
trying to give him clarification on what I meant.
but you have to let him answer the question that you asked. And if you feel the need for follow-up, then you can do that or ask a very specific question. But I'm allowing him to answer. He was interrupted. Go ahead.
I believe it was 3 days after the incident. That is when I gave my voluntary statement to Detective Kirby and Detective Casey. And upon completion of that statement, I asked them if they could share any information with me. And during that conversation, I was shown a picture of the vehicle and where my round struck the vehicle.
You stated you asked them for any additional information that they can give you. So it would be fair to say at that time, you still didn't have a lot of information. Would it be fair to say that?
That is correct. I didn't know where my rounds had struck previous to that.
Did you ask them in the statement that you just testified to, saying you asked them if they could provide you with any more information? Did you at any time specifically ask about the shots that you fired when you requested if they could give you any more information?
I do not remember the specifics of what questions I asked in pertaining to what information they could share with me. I think it was sort of a generalization of what can you share with me at this point.
So would it be fair to say at that point that there's a possibility that you did not know the name of the suspect, nor did you know if you had shot the suspect at that time?
At that time, I knew I had not shot the suspect because the night of the incident, when he was taken into custody, it was relayed to me that he was uninjured and he had not been struck by any of my rounds that were fired.
You do recall just testifying to requesting more information from the detectives when you had the conversation with them. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you said that you don't recall asking them about if your bullet struck someone. Is that correct?
That is correct. So the day I met with Detective Kirby and Detective Casey, that was, I believe, 2 or 3 days after the incident, Mr. Brooks was taken into custody the night of. So when I was still at the police department, I knew that he had not been struck. So I think we're dealing with the questions I asked of the detectives. That was not the same night of the incident.
I'm sure you asked, you didn't say it, but you said you don't recall the information that you requested. Would that be fair to say?
No, I don't recall specifically what questions I asked I don't know specifically what questions I asked of them a year ago. I know it was a generalized, what information can you share with me at this point? Because I didn't know what was going on in the investigation or what leads they had or essentially what had happened after my involvement, I guess.
So you didn't, it would be fair to say there was a lot of information that you still was unsure about at that point. Would that be fair to say?
That's correct.
So if there was information that you're acknowledging that you had no knowledge of, which would be essentially the reason why you would ask if they can volunteer more information to you, then how would there be any way of knowing if you struck the suspect?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained. It's a compound, confusing question for you to rephrase. And I also think it mischaracterizes the testimony.
Lord have mercy. I
And
can't
you
take
said
no more.
you made a statement during your testimony that you had learned that the suspect was not injured. Do you recall who you learned that information from?
I believe when I was back at the police department after the incident, so after using deadly force, you're ultimately removed from the scene. When I was at the police department, I was with a support officer and another detective. And at that point, I was still answering questions for investigating officers for what I saw, what I knew, what I saw in the vehicle. And I believe Detective Stern was at our substation with Darrell Brooks after taking him into custody. And I was shown a photo at that point, and I know I had asked if he sustained any injuries or if anyone else had sustained any injuries from my use of force. And at that point, I was not told that anyone had been struck by my gunfire.
So you just said you asked if the suspect or if anyone else was struck by the gunfire.
That is correct.
So you weren't sure at that point? You weren't sure?
I was not certain at that point. I can't describe it any more than it was just pure chaos. And at that point, I did not know if anyone else was injured from my rounds or up until I was confirmed that you were not injured. At that point, no, I did not know if anyone was hurt until I was told that.
So would it be fair to say that, and
Oh, Lord.
as you
Lord.
just stated, you were unsure if the suspect or anyone else was injured, would it be fair to say that there was a possibility because you did not know for certain?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Asked and answered. Next question.
After the vehicle passed you, did you observe it strike anyone?
I did not observe it strike anyone after it passed me.
Do you recall who you, well, I think you did. I think you said you gave your report to Officer Kirby. Is that correct?
Detective Kirby, yes.
I'm sorry, Detective. Do you recall telling Detective Kirby that you were unaware of a vehicle on the parade route and you were unaware of people being injured?
Yes, I previously stated that.
Let me see what y'all over here saying. I am just beat down by this. Where are we at? I saw my girl dog mom came up in here. Hey, girl. Wow, I'm so behind in these comments. I think I was dozing off, y'all. What y'all talking about? Something I said? Okay. Let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm sure I dozed off because I can't take it anymore. Dog mom, where you been? You been in hiding. Hey, how are you? Good to see you. Absolutely. God, I'm tired. Hey, Tim, I didn't see you come here. How are you? Yep. Let me see. Miss Sherry, what kind of life you living? Oh, probably not. I know he, excuse me, he was tased one time by the police. Excuse me. Okay, I think I'm almost caught up. Hold on. Okay, tell them to run my numbers up. I don't know why they be doing me like that. Thank you, Shonda. Thank you, Sherry. Oh my goodness. Ah, Oracle. Oh my goodness. Y'all ain't exhausted from this? You ain't the only one, Maya, okay? I'm sitting here, eyes heavy and all with this mess. Okay. Uh-oh, what's she saying? Ah, she should be. She should be. Mhm. Mm-mm. I'm sorry, Sherry, that you have to go through that. God. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mhm. Oh, you want me to stop, Sherry? How much more we got of this? I love you supporting me, but don't, take care of yourself. If it's too much, do what you got to do.
Were you able to make out a license plates from the vehicle when he passed you?
I later learned that I must have, but I do not recall that.
So from what you recall at the time that the vehicle was passing, you don't recall getting the license plate?
At this time, I do not recall the license plate, but after I shot at the vehicle, I then responded up Main Street and started triaging victims. And after doing that, I met with officers, and because I couldn't get on the radio and give out as much information as I wanted to. So when I spoke with other officers, that's when I explained to them that I was the one that had shot. It was not a suspect shooting, it was me. And that the vehicle in question was a red Ford Escape. And I believe I was talking to Detective Casey, Specialist Moss, and I believe there might have been another officer there as well. And I must have provided a license plate to Detective Casey during that debrief on scene. I did not know about that until about 2 days later when I gave my statement to Detective Kirby and Detective Casey, because that is when I was informed by Detective Casey that I had actually provided him a correct license plate, but I don't remember that.
How much longer we got of this? Oh, we still got 17 minutes, y'all.
Any reason why you didn't mention the license plate in your report?
Because like I stated, I don't remember it.
So it'd be fair to say if you don't remember it, then it's a possibility that you didn't get the license plate number.
I would say that if Detective Casey is telling me that I told him on scene during a traumatic incident that I provided him the license plate of the vehicle, I'd have to believe that Detective Casey is correct. There's many things that you do not remember during a traumatic incident, and I believe that's because your brain prevents you from remembering everything.
So you would describe it as a traumatic incident, but you do recall using deadly force and recalling what you was aiming for, but not the license plate or anything else like that.
That is correct.
Would it be fair to say that because you describe it as a traumatic event, that there was a lot of things that you probably don't recall about the incident?
I would agree with that. I would think that there's a lot of things when I started going up West Main Street and started seeing the absolute destruction. I know there's things that I did and saw that I don't really remember, and I don't really want to remember.
Will one of those possibly be the suspect that you keep naming?
No.
And how did you come to the knowledge of the make and model of the vehicle when on the exhibit that was shown, you only had interaction with it for a few seconds? How were you able to make out the make and the model of the vehicle?
Because that vehicle model has been out for quite some time, and I'm halfway decent with vehicles, and I readily recognize that it was a Ford Escape.
So you've seen many Ford Escapes?
Yes.
And you said the model has been out for some time. So what do you mean by that? Do you mean
It's
an older
2022
model?
now, and that Ford model was approximately a 2008-ish to maybe a 2011, 2010-ish. So yeah, they've been out for over a decade.
And how did you come to that knowledge of the estimate of the years that the model could have been? That would you agree that that's pretty difficult to know just off the bat?
No.
Would that be fair to say?
No.
So it would be pretty easy to tell the make and model in year of a vehicle just by looking at it.
That is correct.
So it'd be fair to say if someone had a vehicle right here in front of you, you'd be able to tell just by looking at it for a couple of seconds the make, the model, and the year.
Depending on what vehicle it is, yeah, quite likely. I'm decent with vehicles.
What do you mean by decent?
I can recognize many vehicles that are manufactured. Part of being a police officer is dealing with vehicles. We run a lot of vehicle registration plates. So when you match the registration to a vehicle on a response, you become very well accustomed to the many different vehicles that are manufactured.
Did you at any time see the registration of the vehicle that passed you?
Like I stated previous, I debriefed with Detective Casey during the incident, and he stated that I gave him a registration number, a registration plate for it. I do not recall giving him that registration plate, but Detective Casey informed me that I provided him a correct license plate for that vehicle.
Would it be fair to say that a registration could, would it be fair to say that that automatically links to the make and model and the year of the car? Would it be fair to say that? That if you ran, or if we're judging by the license plates, if you were conducting a stop, and to do that, you will have to run the license plates. Would it be fair to say that all that information would come up in your computer when you run the license plate? That'd be fair to say?
You had a lot of questions right there. So
Okay, let me back up then. So if you were conducting a traffic stop,
okay,
and you pulled up the license plates of the vehicle that you were stopping,
okay.
would the information registered to that vehicle show in your computer?
If the license plate is actually accurate and current to that actual vehicle, yes.
Just so we're clear, the information would come up though.
That is correct. It should, as long as the system is working.
And did you have a system or any equipment that could have assisted you in learning the make and the model and year of the vehicle at the time of the incident?
No, I was on foot with no other equipment.
So is it fair to say that you did not know that information until later when you were told by Detective Casey or another detective?
No, because like I previously stated, I can recognize vehicles pretty well, and I knew it was a Ford Escape, and I knew the approximate year of it.
You did testify that, and you can also see from the exhibit video that the front end of the vehicle was damaged. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And you can still make out the make and model and year of the vehicle with extensive damage.
That is correct.
Could you see the emblem of the vehicle at that point?
I don't recall if I saw an emblem or not. I know the body style of the vehicle, and I knew it was a Ford Escape.
Would it be fair to say that many SUVs have the same type of body build?
I'm sure some vehicles do look similar.
So that would it be fair to say that there's a possibility that you could not make out the make and model and year of the vehicle, especially with it being extensively damaged to the front?
No, I was confident that it was a Ford Escape.
Did you notice any tints on that vehicle?
The front windshield that I looked through, I know was not tinted, or it was not tinted enough to not make me recognize you.
Did you see any tints on the side of the vehicle?
Not that I recall. And if they were, they weren't that dark.
You don't recall though, for sure, if there were any tints to any windows of the vehicle you saw?
Well, all windows are tinted to some extent. It just depends on to what percentage of tint that they come with. So I'm sure there is tint on the windows because vehicles come from the factory with some level of window tint. So I guess to your question, was there any window tint? I'm sure there was, but not to a degree that would prevent me from seeing who was driving it.
Explain what you mean by tint percentage.
There's different varying degrees of tint that you can put on vehicles.
Can you elaborate for the jury?
No,
Right.
irrelevant.
I'll overrule the objection. Mr. Brooks, please ask your question again.
You stated that all cars come from the manufacturer with some level of tint, but you made a reference to percentage.
Correct.
Can you elaborate on percentage? What would constitute a darker tint versus a lighter tint?
Well, you've asked two questions now, so which one do you want him to answer first?
The last one, I'm sorry.
So you're asking him about
About
lighter
the 10
versus darker.
percentage, about the 10 percentage.
So like a 50% tint would be a lighter tint than like a 35% tint.
So the lower the percentage, the darker the tint.
That is correct.
Okay. You stated that you're pretty decent with making out make and model and years of vehicles based on your line of work. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
Would you know of the make and model of the vehicle that you saw that day? Would you know if those model vehicles come from the manufacturer with any tint?
To be honest with you, I don't work for Ford, so I don't know if they come with tint, but I would assume as most vehicles, when they come from the factory, they come with some sort of tint. I believe usually the front is approximately 50% tint and the rears are usually, I think, 25 or 30 or something like that.
So from your knowledge, the backer windows are usually coming from the manufacturer, maybe a little bit darker than the front.
Correct.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Very briefly, thank you. So the barricades that we saw at the intersection where you were posted, those have been blown over by the wind?
Yes. So when I deployed the barricades initially, standing upright, they kept on blowing directly, like right off the street. So I tipped them down on their sides so they wouldn't, I guess, catch as much wind and they wouldn't blow all over the place.
Did those barricades appear to slow down the SUV as it drove through them?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled, he may answer, given all of the cross.
No, it did not slow the vehicle down at all.
You discharged your firearm 3 times toward the vehicle?
That is correct.
Did all 3 rounds strike the vehicle?
Yes, they did.
Can we please put up for the jury exhibit number 3, which has previously been published?
Go ahead.
We're going to start at the 2-minute and 59-second mark if we can, and while we're working on that, can we please clear the screen down first? Thank you.
What exhibit is that?
3.
What exhibit is that?
We're at the 2:58-second mark on this exhibit number 3. Do you see a vehicle on the screen?
Yes, I do.
Does that appear to be the same color of vehicle you saw drive through the intersection where you were posted?
Yes.
Let's play from this second, please. Pause. We paused at 3:02. Does that appear to be the same make and model as the SUV you saw driving through the intersection?
Objection.
Overruled.
It's clearly
Yes, it
tinted.
does.
Is there a difference between this vehicle and the vehicle you saw at your intersection?
The difference in the vehicle is that there's no damage on this one.
Okay, let's play again from this point.
Mm-mm.
Pause. Paused at 3 minutes and 47 seconds. Did you see a person wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt in that clip?
Yes, I did.
Was the appearance of that person and their clothing consistent with the person you saw driving the SUV through your intersection?
Objection, speculation, two different incidents.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
Can we please put up for everybody exhibit number 120, which has previously been received and published?
Go ahead.
Okay. You see the photograph on the screen in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Does that appear to be a vehicle consistent with the one you saw driving through your intersection?
Yes.
And the person seated in the driver's seat, does that look like the same person you saw driving that red SUV?
Yes.
Can we put up for everybody, please, exhibit number 9?
Go ahead.
You see the photograph on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
Does that appear to be the same vehicle that you saw driving through the intersection of Wisconsin and Maine?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
Does that appear to be the same driver of that same vehicle?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Yes.
Would you please put up for everybody exhibit number 169, which has previously been published?
Go ahead.
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
See the photograph on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
Does that appear to be the same vehicle that you saw drive through the intersection of Wisconsin and Maine?
Yes.
Does that appear to be the same driver?
Yes.
What's going on with that front passenger window?
Looks like
Objection, leading.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
it looks like it's rolled down.
So if someone had, before this incident, painted that window black, covered it in a black paper bag, and taped it up with duct tape, and then rolled the window down, would that have prevented you from seeing through the front passenger window?
Objection, speculation.
No.
Overruled, the witness may answer.
Who was the
No.
person depicted in exhibits number 120, number 9, and number 169?
Darrell Brooks.
Thank you.
Objection, I do not consent to being called that name.
Don't matter.
The objection is noted, however, the jury is
You already-
advised to disregard as it's not testimony. It's a comment. All right, thank you, sir. You may step down. And I appreciate the patience of everyone as we concluded with that witness. We will now take our lunch break. It's 12:58.
Lord, have mercy. Y'all want to watch this rap performance real quick? Our girl J9 got it. She's real cool. She doesn't care me streaming it long as I give her credit. So we can watch it real quick. We gonna peace out because I need a little snack. I need a little snack, dog on it. Let me see. Oh. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. Did she do it? Oh, there it go. Here it go. Y'all ready to see this mess here, y'all?
You got the whole world watching you, Darrell. What what Eminem say? You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Darrell, you blew it. Mom's spaghetti is all over your shirt. In fact, Darrell, you kind of look like Mom's spaghetti, if I'm just being honest here. Let me get it. Let me get it to perfect size so that we may enjoy this for our. Darrell was on stage, honey. He was gonna be a star, y'all. Darrell was gonna be a big star. You know, he was gonna be a little emotional. He be borrowing people's shoes. Now, if we catch him standing with his feet together.
Now, did she play the video? There we go, y'all.
I was small, nigga, shit, look at my Pico. Hey, drugs, guns, murder, that's all we know. I jumped off the porch, I was a preteen. Yeah, bring it through my city like a trap meet. City shit, I got to run it up.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, but you gotta realize, you gotta remember while you're watching this. Darrell be real little, so you like when you see this, there's this tiny person, tiny in many ways, tiny small. Okay, just kind of like a red and black leprechaun, just kind of pacing back and forth on this stage here. Imagine what this looks like to the audience. Okay.
Turn it down to a break, I'm trying to run it up. Mama gotta pay the rent, I gotta run it up. Nobody never gave me shit, I gotta run it up. I was born in this shit, I had it hard.
Oh my God. This is the least you can do is actually rap the song. He's like just playing like the song ain't good, Darrell. If the song is really good, then maybe the audience would be like, no, don't sing over it because we love listening to the song, like the track itself, just do your little, leprechaun dance and we just listen to the music. But the music sucks. So the least you can do is actually go out and try to perform it. He can't even do that right, y'all. I know he got $4 in his pocket, but it ain't enough for Uber. And that's not how Ubers work, Darrell. How you gonna get home? Dawn said you ain't got the keys. Oh my God. I'm trying to savor this, okay? I want to savor this ass whooping, okay? Just, oh my God. You're gonna hurt your knees, Darrell. Oh my God. Oh, there he is talking about the school again. Darrell, you 40. You was probably 35 here. Carried a 6. Too old to be rapping about school is what I'm saying. Oh my God, Darrell was never gonna grow up. He was always gonna be a Toys R Us kid, like always. This is hilarious. Oh my God. Who's driving around in the car with Darrell?
Child. What y'all over here saying? Thank you, J9 girl. Thank you as always. I've had enough of Darrell tonight, okay? That cross examination wore me the F out. Bama, you might need to drink some water too. You might need to drink some water. Oh my God. Y'all, we made it through. Lord. I don't know how much more of the real content I can take. I'm being really honest with y'all. Seriously. So my views may just have to be down. I don't know. And I don't want to say I don't care, but there's really nothing else to talk about. Like I I can't. I can't. Hey, Bluesy News. Oh God. John. Oh God. Whew. Ain't no telling. Yeah, you drinking water. Okay, Bama. Feel better. I'll check on you tomorrow. You know what? I don't mind doing yellow shirt day tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow where I have like I just went through and picked um all of the times Darrell got bucked with Judge Doro. I'm not doing anything with the sentencing. I'm not doing anything with the victim impact. There is nothing else for me to talk about. There is nothing else for me to talk about. I said this before, and I'm not going to lie, and I'm not throwing a tantrum, but the minute that I stopped talking about Darrell, everybody disappeared. Everybody disappeared. I came back on 2 nights later to do a live about something else, and only 3 people showed up. So I got a lot of requests to do Darrell again. I've done it again. There is nothing else for me to talk about. This stuff is draining. John, I'm with you. I think we've all told all of the jokes we can tell. We've laughed as much as we can. I think there are other channels, guys, that are doing Darrell content. They can have at it. Um, It's other cases, y'all. It's other cases, y'all. And I think that we've built a great community here. And I think that we all need to just kind of slowly move on. I can't tell y'all what to do. You can watch whoever channel you want to, but I think after these last two lives with Darrell, that's it, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, yes, Bob Kitten. That is my next case right now. We're doing Hannah Payne. I did a live earlier about her. We just wrapped up Bryce Rhodes, which I actually need to circle back and do two videos related to that. One is about the evidence or the lack thereof. The other one, what did I say I was gonna do? I think that's it because he really oh no, I was gonna talk about the psychiatrist. That's it with Bryce. Um, and then we gotta move on. I want to finish Hannah. That I don't want to say it was a good case, but it's important that we talk about different things. So Hannah's case is basically about someone who took the law into their own hands and for no reason whatsoever. The Shanda case is really good. However, if you're sensitive to child abuse, it's not for you. But basically, to summarize that case, it is about a woman who was in a relationship. She had a whole family. However, she had gotten reported to CPS a couple of times, and so the children removed. The children were removed from her care. Um, Her husband, she says, had a stroke. She lived in Oklahoma, then she ended up in Michigan, and she took the little boy with her. And then I don't know what she did with her older son, but I'm thinking she abused him to where he did everything that she said. And her little son, Timothy, uh, endured some horrific abuse. She basically starved him to death, tortured him. And what makes it even more upsetting is that this lady went to law school, graduated second in her class, and scored a 182 on the bar. Very intelligent woman, um, and just threw her life away. So I really want to talk about that. And I put on my community wall just a bunch of other cases, that I find interesting that have a lot of information. I try to pick cases that we can potentially learn something from as it relates to the law and just life itself. So I can only do what I can do. You're welcome, Bama. I can only do what I can do, y'all. So, if you want to support me, that's cool. If not, I understand. But I didn't build this channel or make this channel specifically for Darrell Brooks. I did not. So I understand y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do. Thank you, Oracle. Um, what she said, most of the cases are just boring. I mean, I get that, yes and no. I mean, but I can't. I can't, John. I can't. I'm being honest with you. I just don't have it in me anymore. There's nothing else that I can talk about. Were you on my live earlier, Bob Kitten, or you just watched it somewhere else? I appreciate you, Melanator. Thank you so much. It has, and I saw that briefly. I saw something about an SI note, and then she fired her attorneys. And now she's saying that she didn't write the note, and it's like 25 or 35 pages worth of it. So that might be something that I can look into. I always welcome you guys on my community posts. If you look like maybe last week, I listed like 60 or 70 cases that I plan on covering. So if at any chance you could leave it on any video, if you have a suggestion, I am open to it. I'm always open to new suggestions, but nothing related to Darrell Brooks. Yellow shirt and this next day, and I'm done. I'm done. I'm just letting y'all know now. Hey, Nancy, how are you? All right, John, sleep well. They don't. They don't. You're right. They don't. We get to the point, we see, yeah, we get to the point, we discuss, and we move on. And that's what I want to do. Like, I want this channel to grow, but with other cases. We have so many other cases to cover. So, like I said, y'all, you got to do what you got to do. I'm not forcing anybody to stay here, but I just, oh, you were lurking, Bob Kitten. You should have said what's up. Oh, thank you, Bama. I appreciate you so much. I love the way you support me, and I really do. Um, I have missed you the last 6 weeks. I really have, and I'm glad that you got a chance to be away. And I appreciate you so much, Tim. I appreciate you also for your support. I really do. I really do. I do appreciate you guys so much. I do love my profile pic. What does it say? What is it? I can't see all of it. I see a cat with a knife and it says what? Who made that for you? Thank you, Oracle. Yeah, so even if it's 5 of us, guess what? We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. I have so many other cases to cover. Like I said, I want to do videos and live streams. It's more to me than Darrell Brooks. And like I said, I realized that a lot of y'all followed me. I think I got the bulk of my subscribers from that Don Woods video that I did. And that's cool. I had to air out my frustrations on that. But like I said, it's more to me than Don. It's more to me than Darrell. And it is what it is. So, Monica, I appreciate you too for being here. I really do. I do. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate you so much. So, we're going to do what needs to be done. So, what did I say tomorrow? Tomorrow, uh-oh, I work tomorrow. Wait a minute. Let me check to see what's going on. Let me check to see if I'm doing anything tomorrow. I think I work 10 to 6 tomorrow. Um, I'm so hungry. What is tomorrow's date? Is it the 20th? That's today the 20th. It's the 21st. Tomorrow, y'all want to go live tomorrow? Um, we can go live tomorrow if y'all want to. The next 2 lives that I have scheduled are for Hannah at 6 on the 22nd, which is Friday, and then Darrell Brooks, I think just the verdict watch, excuse me, at probably like 8:50ish. And then Saturday I have all the videos where he got buck with Judge Doro. I don't have anything scheduled after that, but I do have my work schedule so I can start planning it. But if y'all want to go live tomorrow, we can. Or, not. It's up to y'all. See you soon. Take care. You're welcome. Thank you. Well, if y'all can't, it's cool. Christmas party tomorrow night. Okay. I'm working on y'all schedule too. Okay. We can skip tomorrow. We don't have to do it every day. So we'll skip tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll just post the evidence video if I can, and I know what I can do tomorrow. Tomorrow I will break down the opening statement from Hannah's attorney. Remember I said I was going to do that. If y'all watched live earlier, I said I was going to do that, and then I'm going to do the defense. So it'll be 2 videos dropping tomorrow after I get off of work. I might try to work on one tonight and it'll release later on. And then we'll meet back up Friday and Saturday. Um and go from there. But like I said, so tomorrow, no, Friday will be Verdict Watch. Saturday, Darrell and Judge Doro, and then that's it, y'all. Okay, so I just need y'all to know. So y'all do what y'all gotta do. It was great to see everybody. Thanks for staying up with me, chit chatting, laughing, all of the good stuff. Those that shared my video, thank you so much. Liking, commenting, subscribing. I appreciate everybody. And I look for everybody's support or those that choose to for the future. Okay. All right. Y'all take care. Be easy. Peace.